Okay, hello everyone. We are going to be looking at number 7 on the week 12 quiz access. So we're looking at chapter 8. Like I said, question 7, we're going to be dealing with, of course, depreciation and trying to discard, or I guess dispose is the right word, disposing of a piece of machinery. Okay, so question 1, it gives us this, or question 7, it gives us this information. It says that the machine costs $125,000. It has an accumulated depreciation of $91,400, and we're going to prepare these various entries. Okay, so starting with number 1, the machine needed extensive repairs and was not worth repairing. They disposed of the machine, received nothing in return. So we know here, sorry, I have my notes, so I might be glancing down a little bit, but we know here that our machine, we're going to first record our accumulated depreciation. So that's always a good place to start. Make sure you select that machine section there. Another important thing to note here is we don't have to worry about bringing this depreciation, those expenses up to date, because this is happening on January 1st, right? So we're at the beginning of a reporting period. We don't have to worry about that. They made it easy on us, thank goodness, with this question. So we're just going to jump right into that second part of these steps. So accumulated depreciation is how we're going to start with this machine. And that is going to be right here, $91,400, $91,400. We are then going to report our loss on this machine, right? So the way that we're going to, and they're disposing of it. So that's the correct one to put there. That is also going to be debited. Now, the way that we find this is we're going to take, so I can do it up on here so you can see the screen. We're going to take our $125,000 because that's our cost of the machinery. We're going to subtract 91,400 because that is our accumulated depreciation. That gives us $33,600, which is then going to be our loss on that machine. So our machine is going to be recorded at 125,000 because it told us that up here in the question. So there's our first one done. Okay, a couple things to double check. Make sure that's the disposal matches the disposal, okay? Because over here, we're going to go here and it's going to be a sale. So in this situation, they sold the machine for $16,000 and $16,700 cash. So there's our cash recorded there, $16,700. Now, we found over here that was our remaining middle part. So we've got our accumulated depreciation. We can put that in right there because we know that's going to be in there. Again, make sure that that's machine 91,400. Again, right up here, $91,400 is our accumulated depreciation. So if we go over here and we say we have 91,400 plus that 16,700 that they sold it for, we're only at 108,100. Okay, so that machine costs $125,000 minus that 16,700 minus our 91,400. That leaves us with $16,900 that still isn't accounted for. So that is going to have to go right here, and they're going to actually take that as a loss on the sale of this machine, not the disposal, because in this case they sold it. So even though they sold it, they're still reporting a loss. So make sure you report it that way. And then we have our machine here, $125,000. Okay, there's our second one, all taken care of. Record the sale of the machine for $33,600 cash. Okay, we like that number because we have our cash here, $33,600. We remember that number as the difference between the accumulated depreciation and our recorded cost of our machine, right? So our accumulated depreciation is 91,400 and our machine cost $125,000, right? So over here, we can go and double check that just to be sure here. 91,400 is what they gave us as our accumulated depreciation, plus that $33,600 that they sold it for equals 125,000. Our credits match our debits there. We're good to move on. Record the sale of the machine for 41,100 cash. So we have cash again starting up here. We have our 41,100. We have our accumulated depreciation on our machine. It's going to go in here for 91,400. Now, here's something that we run into in this case. So we have our let me pull out my calculator here. We have our 91,400 plus 41,100 that they sold it for. We are over our 125,000 by $7,500. Okay. So in this case, they actually sold this for a gain, right? So they made money on this, which is always a great thing. So we are going to record this gain as a credit, right? So keep in mind, kind of similar to how we put our revenues as credits. That's why our gain is going to also be recorded as a credit. So we have our gain on the sale of the machine, not on the disposal of the sale because we sold it, right? And the credit on that, let's check our calculator again, $7,500 is going to be our credit. And then we'll record our machine cost here, $125,000, right? Because we have our $125,000 there and our 91,400 there for our accumulated depreciation. Let's double check that all of this equals each other. We have our 41,100 plus 91,400. That's going to equal 132,500. 125,000 plus 7,500. There it is again, 132,500. So our credits match our debits. Let's double check and make sure that this is all correct. Why is that wrong? Let me double check my little cheat sheet here that I did this earlier to make sure that I did this right. Something is off. Our loss, so I recorded it as a credit. It needs to be recorded as a debit. So make sure we slide that over here. Sorry, that's going to show up a little bit different, but we're glad we caught that. So this guy here, the 16,900, we have to move him over here. There we go. And that's correct. I don't have any more check my works left, but that's correct. Awesome. Hopefully that was helpful. Good luck with the rest of the quiz access.